We just run over that. We ran over it. Dadgummit. Well, I was all set up to provide you guys with a full weekend of of entertainment. There were some really good things that happened, some funny things, a lot of progress that was made. But then I was loading the dog up in the truck, and I set my phone up on the back of the tailgate, or on the back of the bed. And I started driving, it fell off, and it got run over. And so, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is what I use to film. I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't have any fancy equipment. I use an iPhone. And that is not straight. And that is busted. I mean, busted good. I don't know if you can see it. So all my footage for the weekend here on the close of the weekend, gone. But instead of skipping the weekend, I hope you'll let me indulge you for, 5 or 10 minutes to give you a rundown on what we did, because it's awesome. I mean, really awesome. First off, we got to work. James and some of the guys came back out, and Tim came back out, and we started working on this top side right here. And as you can see, it looks just beautiful. Got a little bit left to go here, and we'll work on that next week. You can see this drip edge that runs right along here. So they custom bent that drip edge out of some aluminum, and it looks phenomenal. And then right over here, I thought this was the really nice part, is how we tied it in. So James essentially tied the whole thing in by boxing it and then wrapping it around this post right here. Made it look really, really nice. And then obviously added a nice trim piece here as well as right here. And so the whole thing just looks really, really clean and really, really nice. Just super excited about that. We also, last week, which I didn't show a lot of, but we got started on working on the underside of the porch. And this is beadboard, tongue and groove pine, and it looks just spectacular. Just love it. Absolutely love it. And so we'll continue down on that far end and then around here onto the front side next week. Time permitting, as we continue to try to wrap up the exterior stuff. We started on this gable here. We've got the other end of the gable. I'll show you a picture of that right quick. Let me run down here and I'll show you what that at least looks like, what we've kind of got to tackle on this side. This end's a little bit different. As you can see up there, it's the there you go. So the roof runs up and meets. It's a smaller gable. And on this gable, we'll actually be placing a vent fan that goes into the attic that regulates the temperature and the humidity of the attic. But as you can see, this end has not been done, right? So we'll work on that one as well. But I just love how this is turning out. And again, what we're gonna do, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. So what we'll do with this is we're just gonna poly this and kind of bring out that grain, and it'll kind of honey color it up a little bit. It'll darken the color just a little bit. And so we're gonna leave that kind of a honey colored. And then down here on this floor, we're gonna do a dark brown as well as the post. So we'll wrap all the posts, do them in a dark brown, kind of a walnutty type of a color. But the really, really big thing that happened this weekend is Karen and Robbie's son Blake. Blake came down to help us out a little bit. and he and Karen began to tackle the floor. And so we got our HVAC, and we set it like for 73, 74 degrees to start regulating the temperature to acclimate the hardwood floor to it. So we gave it a week to acclimate, and we started laying it today, or yesterday actually. And I want to show you what it looks like. Bam! How about that? Woo! Is that not awesome? I mean, that looks really, really good. Really, really good. So this is 3 different kinds of woods. It's red oak, white oak, and cherry. And we have just matched them up in here. There's no pattern. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And what we'll do is we'll come back through. We'll sand this down. And then we're going to stain it. We're thinking about gunstock or gunmetal, which will darken this floor up a little bit. Again, we're going to put that same brown, that dark brown on our beams here. And so that dark brown should look really, really great with kind of a darkened brown floor. We're going to do the same thing on this shiplap wall that we did out on the back porch. We're going to glaze it. We're going to put a poly on it and just honey it up a little bit. And so we're going to keep this same kind of the color, so there'll be a nice light contrast to the very dark floors. How you like that? Is that not awesome? And then the last thing that we did, or that was done this week that I'm really excited about also, is, let me see if I can pop a light on here. That's not it. That's not it. This is it. Is we installed the hot water heater. So this is a tankless hot water heater. It's a Navion, and the size of this, I think it's 100,000. It's 100. I'll have to get you some of the specs to this because this is an awesome unit. We've got the gas tie-in that, hot water tie-in, cold water tie-in, gas that will hook up to here. And then we've got the one drain line that will be hooked up. And then out the top, they've got to install a vent that goes out the roof. And so that was really exciting. That's awesome. That's going to be so sweet. I was told not to ever worry about hot water again. All right. So I think that just about, we also finished the shiplap wall. If you recall last week, I procrastinated finishing the wall, mostly because I couldn't reach it. So we got in here this yesterday morning and hit this thing and got it wrapped up. So the shiplap wall is now complete and it looks great. And so yeah, we're kind of done now, or at least for this weekend. And so we're loading it up. We're gonna get ready for work this next week. Unfortunately, I'd love to stay out here and continue to work on the property and get this thing a little bit closer. But we gotta do what we gotta do. And so we're gonna load it up and head on back. But I wanted to take at least an opportunity to at least show you a little bit about what we've been doing out here, because we spent a great weekend working to knock out quite a few of these tasks. And like I said, my phone ran it over, done. And so I at least wanted to bring you some video. At least wanted to show you some of the things that we were doing, because this is substantial. This is huge. I gotta learn where all these lights are. Okay, wait a minute. There we go. The floor I mean, it just is unbelievable how nice this looks. And again, this will look completely different once we sand and we put a stain to it. It's gonna look spectacular, just spectacular. Anyway, I got to go get another phone tomorrow and get that all taken care of, and hopefully get back out here next weekend and continue to get this cabin ready to rock and roll. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I apologize again for not having the video, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Loving the way it looks. And you can kind of tell the way that the wood has weathered a little bit. We'll get out here and we'll get this thing painted. It may not be until spring when we paint. I'm not going to be in any rush to get this thing painted. Definitely need to get it done, though, you know, before we start having bug problems or whatever. But I've got a little bit of time. The winter's not when that's going to necessarily happen. I just think that looks really, really great. That drip edge on there, along with, I don't know if you noticed, but we actually even went back in, and you can see right under the drip edge right here, he actually put little blocks under each one of them because we have dirt daubers in this neck of the woods, and they love to build their little nest, their little burrowed nest things up inside of little cracks and crevices. And so that's going to eliminate that for sure. But I think we'll get done with this as well as the fascia board. He started the fascia board right here. And I don't know if you noticed, but we wrapped it. We have wrapped the fascia board with a nice aluminum wrap. And so he bent that to fit that board that's right up here. And so you can see he's got a part of it already wrapped. And so that's going to be the final look of it right there. Just looking great. Couldn't be happier. So anyway, appreciate you guys joining along for this week, and I apologize for absolutely just screwing up the video. Man, it was unintentional. I promise you, it was very unintentional. Did not mean to break my phone. But we'll get that fixed, and we'll be back out here again next week. But anyway, I want to wish you guys a very, very great week. I hope you have a really good one and a very blessed week. And until we see you again the next time, we will see ya.